Hi, this is Brandon from Tate Talk Tech, back here again with another episode of Linux Sundays. And I do know that this is not coming to you on a Sunday, and I am not recording it on a Sunday, but I wanted to kind of get back into the swing of things after having a lot coming up in life in the last 2 weeks. So we're going to go ahead and pick up. We're in our series of learning Linux with Tate Talk. This week we're going to be talking about basic navigation. When I talk about basic navigation, I'm referring to navigation of the command line. We will not be covering the navigation of the GUI. I highly encourage you to go to the documentation for whatever distribution that you're using and look it up. It will tell you exactly how to navigate the GUI. I'm going to be using our Ubuntu 20.04 virtual machine and VirtualBox that we set up in the inaugural episode to go ahead and walk you through some of the basic navigation. Now, one thing to remember is that in Linux, everything is a file, and it is a hierarchical file system starting at the root directory. So really what that means is that root, or the / is going to be where everything starts and branches off from there. Now, the most basic navigation command, and one of the more useful commands so you can know where you are exactly within your system, is the print working directory, or PDW. This will tell me that I am currently in the home /Brandon directory. Now, kind of going back to what I was previously saying about everything branching off from the root directory, we can see that this is going to start with that / and then it's going to be home directory, and then Brandon as in my home directory. So we're not going to get into too specific of these topics in this course. This is the first season of this show. We're utilizing, again, that's Ryan's tutorials. And we're going to be doing just some of the basics. So the next command that I want to go ahead and cover is the list command. The list command will do exactly what you think it will do, and it will list things. And it is actually ls. And it will list all the files as well as directories within our current directory. There are tons of different options that you can utilize for this particular command, but I'm not going to go into all of those. I'm going to show you two. The first one is going to be ls-a, which will show you all of the documents and files within your current directory. And you can see that now we have a few more files and directories. Now, the reason that you now see those that you didn't previously see is because they are preceded by periods, and period indicates in Linux that it is a hidden file. So if you're ever having trouble finding a particular file, go ahead and give it an ls-a, and it may actually be there just hidden. The next one is going to be ls-l, which stands for long, and this is going to give us more details on each individual directory and file, as well as not only the details as far as modification goes of this file and the owners. It will also give us the permissions that for each particular file or directory. I'm not going to be covering that here. That is a later topic in this series. Now, the next thing that I want to go ahead and cover is the difference between absolute and relative path. So an absolute path is a path starting in the root directory, which again is that / and it will go ahead and go to the starting there, and it will go on to the rest. The rest of it will be the remainder of the file and or directory that you're going to be visiting. Now, the relative path is going to start in your current directory, and it's going to go ahead and only go through files that are within that directory, starting in that directory, and it's basically going to start that path there. It's not going to take into account anything that happened prior to your current directory, which is very different from using the absolute path. Basically, the absolute path is literally you're just going to type it in piece by piece. I'm sorry, not piece by piece, but the entire location in one go, which is kind of like putting in the full GPS coordinates for a location. Now, using the relative one is we're kind of going to go piece by piece in some ways, because you do have to start with your current directory versus the root directory in order to be able to go ahead and navigate through whatever path that you're wanting to get to. Now, we can go ahead and we could go to the we could just go to the regular home file, the home directory, by just going to the absolute path, which from our current home directory would be cd/home. Right there, we can see that home is actually under the root directory, because that's what that / again means. Now, we could also do it a different way. Say if we wanted to get there through the relative path, say if we go back to our home directory, and I'm going to get into that little symbol here in just a minute. Now, if we tried to do it from here, you're going to notice that, whoops, it actually did go through. I'm sorry, and I apologize. I did put the actual absolute path. Let's go ahead and put in the just type in, let's just go ahead and go back to our home directory. And if we just go to cd home, it's going to be like, where the heck are you trying to go? I have no idea where that's at. So now, say if we were in our root directory, we can do it from there. We could just type in cd home and it'll take us there, utilizing that relative path. Now, I did just kind of go over the tilde. I did just kind of show you the tilde, which is basically just a shortcut to your home directory. You can use it to get there, like so. Or, if you needed to, say if we were at cd /home, and say you wanted to go to cd, you want to go to the downloads file, instead of typing out the whole path, you could just do that, and you could just do downloads, and voila, you are there. You can also do one other fast tip here for getting back to your home directory. You could literally just type cd, takes you back to your home directory. Easy peasy, one of the easiest ways to get there. Now, you can utilize other means of navigating around the system. You could use a dot, which really just represents your current directory, or a ... which refers to the parent directory. Now, the parent, right now we're currently going to be in, if we go back to our PDW, we're going to be in home, we're going to be in root, the root directory, the home directory, and then in Brandon's directory. Now, say if we wanted to go to Etsy, which is want to be one of the directories underneath the root directory, we could do it this way. We could do cd, we could do /, we could do // /etc, and it gets us there. Now, basically, we started in our home directory. In it, this right here is going to be the home directory, and this one right here is going to represent the root directory. Now, we'll utilize these more as the course goes on. I'm not going to get into too much more detail on these two particular path building blocks this time. Now, as you can see that I have been using the cd command, which is the change directories command. And again, that if you utilize that command with the no arguments, it will go ahead and take you to your home directory. And then really to utilize it, you would just put in your path, whether it be a relative path like cd downloads, whoops, or your exact path, cd root, and then etc. Either way, it works. Let's go back to our home directory. Now, one of the things you've kind of seen, if you're paying attention, is that I'm just kind of shooting through some of the completions. Now, I am doing that utilizing what is known as tab completion. Tab completion is very, very useful. It will go ahead and finish up whatever it believes that you're typing. Now, keep in mind that you have to be specific. So if you go cd and just do DO, it's really not going to be able to. It's not going to be able to go to a single path because there is both documents and download. So we would need to add an additional letter, which in this case we could write W and then boom. All right, so that is going to be the CD command. Now, again, this was just a basic overview of navigation through the command line. We will touch on a lot more of this as we progress in the course. I really do appreciate you watching this video. If you like the content that I'm making here and want to see more Linux Sunday videos, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, go ahead and hit the notification bell to be able to go ahead and be notified when videos like this are ready for viewing. Now, if you don't like the content, go ahead and give me a thumbs down. If you have any comments, concerns, feedback, or just want to stop by and say hi, or just let me know what you liked, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Again, this is Brandon from Tay Talk Tech. Thank you very much, and have a great day.